Shoot, but I need all that stuff back.
Actually, before I do number one, let's do page one problem. So x squared minus 6x plus 5.
So that would be inverse x.
Okay, yeah. This is like reverse foiling. So Linux, you weren't here for this, but a trinomial like this can come from a FOIL problem, right? So what multiplies into x squared? X times x. That goes in the front. What multiplies into 5? That adds up to negative 6.
Oh, it's negative 1. It's negative on both of them, 5 and 1.
Right. 5 and 1 multiply into 5, but they add up to 6. But if I make them both negative, they still multiply to positive 5, but they add up to negative 6. So, okay, that's what we did Friday before last. Okay, number one, we did this also on Friday, but I'll do it again.
So it's what multiplies into the one number that adds up.
Okay, what makes this trickier, it's still pretty similar, but there's a number on the front. A coefficient other than 1 on the
Just put
front.
it in there.
No,
So-
no, put it behind the parentheses.
It would just be 3p.
What multiplies into 3p squared?
3p times p.
Right. What goes into 3 is 3 times 1. What goes into p squared is p times p.
Ooh. Has anybody else heard that? Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, everybody's heard it wrong.
You're not special, Roman. I haven't heard
The what?
Yes, has anybody heard the beeping? It is, okay, what goes into negative 5?
that. Negative 5 and 1.
Okay, now we're no longer saying that adds up to negative 2 because there's numbers on the front. Basically what you have to do, it could be negative 5 and 1, could be 5 and negative 1, could be 1 and negative 5. Now the order does matter now because these are different.
So why do we, like let's just say it was like p squared minus 2p. So on like the just p squared it'd be like, and then we'd have to add it up to 2, right? But then, how does that change it? Like, how does like the 3p make it to where we ignore that? Does that make, like,
Okay, because the way that this number happens is by foiling. Now, if there's no numbers up here, then they don't really affect it. So when you do outside and inside, you get negative 1x minus 5x, which is negative 6x. Because there's no numbers up here to take into account when you get this. But if there's a number on the front when you foil it, outside, inside, this 3 is going to change this number. So anyway, it just makes it different. So this one actually is the right answer, the first one. So if you guess it right the first time, I mean, that makes it easy. Let me plug in the wrong one first. Let's go with 5 and minus 1. Okay, how do I check and see if this is right though?
you do it and see if it gets it right?
Okay, you foil. Now, we don't have to do the whole foil. We picked these two so that the first is right. Like this times this equals that. We picked this one, we picked these two so that the last would be right. But really what we need to check is the middle term. And where does the middle term come from? The outside inside of foiling. So if we did outside inside, would it give us negative 2p? Outside is negative 3p. The inside is 5p. Which together that makes 2p. Is that what we wanted? No. But if you get the right number, but it's the opposite, 2 instead of negative 2, that just means your pluses and minuses need to switch.
2p.
So it should have been minus 5 and plus 1. This one. Okay, so that was number one. I think you guys already had that from us a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Number 3, here we go. Jumping in. Okay, what's going to go on the front? 3n and n. Okay, what goes into 4? Okay, it could be 2 and 2, right? Or 4 and 1. But since it has to eventually FOIL to a negative 8n, is 2 and 2 gonna get me there?
Nope.
No, maybe -2 and -2 might, and those still multiply to +4, right? Or it could be -4, -1, or it could be -1, -4. So based on this being a -8, these are my 3 realistic options. Okay. Again, we kind of did the right one for. So let me plug in 2, 2. Let's see what happens. Why would 2, 2 not work? Because if it's positive. If you did outside, you get 6n. Inside is 2n, and altogether that's 8n. And we wanted the negative version, so it's -2, -2. Okay, what's gonna go in the front? 2v or not 2v? That is the question.
I'm actually trying to memorize that because I don't know.
Just 'cause.
I think it'd be
got an
funny
upcoming
to just
video.
like out of nowhere just like say the whole thing.
I would bust out laughing if you said the whole thing.
I have it on my phone. I
You
took, like, a
could
screenshot.
do a scene where you're like sitting at breakfast talking to your mom, and then all of a sudden you start quoting Shakespeare. Or
I
something.
like pull out a skull.
Yeah, you start
Yeah, there you go.
flipping the table.
Okay,
Get super passionate.
2v times what? Equals
V.
2
V.
times 1v. Okay. What goes into 5?
3.
No, multiplies into 5.
1 and 5.
1 and 5. Primes make this easier because there's only one option. It's 1 and 5 or 5 and 1. Well, okay. Can you guys do this in your head?
Probably not.
Not yet. Maybe someday we will.
1 and 5.
Okay, it is 1 and 5 instead of 5 and 1.
That was a 50-50 shot.
Okay, if we did 5 and 1, we'd get 2v plus 5v. You kind of have to imagine that in your head. 2v plus 5v is 7v. But if we do 1 and 5, now it's 10v plus 1v. You guys follow that?
Yeah, yes.
10v plus 1v is 11v. So that is correct.
I'm a big dog, big
Dude, I'm so sleepy.
What did Forrest say this morning about me that was dissing me, even though he was like, I'm not dissing him.
Bro, he goes, dude, we don't even ever get yards on offense at like when like 20 seconds before. I think like in the year Sebastian said like, yeah, Roman was grabbing a lot. And I said, dang, and he goes, I'm not dissing you. I'm like,
No,
pretty sure you just were.
no. He said Roman. Somebody said something about Roman running a lot, and we were talking about how our offense wasn't working. And he said, well, Roman was getting a lot of yards, and he said, well, yeah, but this is like the only game that's happened.
When it's not.
Yeah, it wasn't the only game.
Yeah.
Well, it's not all up to Roman either.
I know.
Kind of bugs me when
Well, that's what
they do commentary on the NFL and they're like, and this quarterback beat this quarterback. No, it's really a team sport.
And not to mention.
Sometimes the worst quarterback wins.
Not to mention, the
Yeah.
quarterback just does what the coach tells him to. Like, sure, they can.
No, the
Well,
quar-
like, they can audible out of it, but
the quarterback is definitely the most important
the main,
position.
the
But
main things they do, like, the coach isn't going to be like, run whatever you want.
No, Patrick Mahomes is all himself, actually.
Oh, yeah. No, he actually was written.
It doesn't-
He actually writ Mark.
okay,
Mhm.
And he was-
coaching matters, like play calling matters.
Yeah.
Players matter.
Chains matter.
refs matter.
Without the chain,
You have to have a good snapper, too, because without a snapper, the whole team is, the whole game is just.
Okay, anyways.
Snappers.
So, Linux, you kind of missed this part. You always should check. I'm not sure it'll show up on this one. Can I take anything out first? Remember that from
Oh, yeah.
the first page. Cause I notice a 7 and a 28, and I'm like, oh, 7 can come out of that. But does 7 come out of 53? No.
You really made me erase my entire thing just say no. I thought you could take it out.
So, but you do need to, that should be like the first thing you look for.
Maybe you should make work.
Okay, what goes into 7a squared though?
780.
7a times
A.
a. Okay, these problems get a lot harder when that first number is not prime. Like if it was a 6, it could have been 6a times a, or it could have been 3a times 2a. So you could try like one path and it completely failed and you have to back up and try the next one. Anyway, what goes into 28? There's a few things, but what's the first thing that comes to mind?
2.
No, well, 2 and 14, but I was thinking the times tables. What's in the times tables? 7 and 4. Okay, I would always, or 4 and 7, I would always check the times tables first. Is it 7 and 4? That would be 28a plus 7a, which is not 53.
Incorrect.
So many.
Okay, but what if is it 4 and 7? So now the outside is 49a plus 4a,
Yay.
which is 53a. Notice how important knowing the times tables is for this assignment.
It doesn't help that my calculator, like some of the buttons don't work, like my 7,
Know
8,
your
9,
place.
and my times button doesn't work.
If you don't know your place.
Time for a new calculator. Just buy like a $14
And I don't
calculator.
even think it's the batteries. I think, like, yeah, I just think
If the
it's
buttons aren't working, it's not the batteries. Wait, how old is it?
like 2 years.
It was new 2 years ago, or you bought it used?
Well, I don't know. It was in a box.
Did you buy it from the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then it was
Yeah.
new. Okay, it shouldn't be broken then.
Unless you just
Unless you did something really.
Wait, maybe I got it in middle school.
If you got it off of Amazon, it might have been used.
No, it was like I literally went to Walmart and got it.
Literally.
Okay, speaking of, you guys remember that hint I said on number 7?
Take it out.
What can we take out of
We can take out
I don't see it.
3.
a 3?
Oh.
You guys see? 15 and 6, 3 goes into that.
Then we have to put
Three goes
3
into-
like outside the first.
Yeah, 3 goes out in front.
So now
5 in.
So now it's 5.
Okay, so we're dividing, basically we're dividing all these by 3. It's like we're reversing a distributive property. We're undistributing a 3. So we're dividing them all by 3.
That's crazy.
Okay.
That's messed up.
And that what's left in parentheses probably, not 100% sure, but probably will factor it in. So we should try it. Okay, what's gonna go, notice my 3 doesn't disappear, I gotta keep it. What's gonna go in the front?
5 in.
5 in and
In.
in. Okay, what's gonna go in the back?
2, 1. Something.
Okay, it could be 2 and -1.
1.
Okay, since this is a -2, one of these has to be negative, right?
Yeah.
To multiply to get a negative, could be -2 and 1. Could be 1 and -2, could be -1 and 2. Those are like the 4 options. Okay, the negative switches and the order switches. That gives us 4.
It's 1 negative 2.
Okay, Linux is starting to get it. Why do we want the -2 over here?
Because it will add up.
Because this makes a -10,
Yeah, you-
which gets us close. And then the +1 right here will get us +1, and that gives us -9.
Are we done?
Yeah, that's all we can do. You don't want to multiply it back together. That just gets you back where you started. We're not multiplying it together. We're taking it apart. Number 11.
When would you need this in a real life situation?
There are a few problems that have most of those problems are gonna be solved like with the quadratic formula.
Dude, that thing doesn't
I like
stop beeping.
problems where it's
Yeah,
like,
why is it beeping?
we got
I think I heard a
55
beep
bottles of
once.
soap.
It goes.
Wait, shh. Everyone.
Well, it's not.
It'll take like 20 seconds. I wish I couldn't hear it. Way longer this time.
Dude.
Maybe somebody fixed it, and that'd be awesome. Starting to get my hopes up.
Maybe it's telling us we're too loud.
But there it is.
That. Did you hear that?
Oh.
How did you not hear that?
You're actually dead, because I did that.
Do you hear a lot? Do you listen to a lot of loud music or something?
Yes. He does. He really
This
does.
is to
In the gym, bro.
My grandpa, when he was like 80, he couldn't hear the phone ring, like the home phone ringing.
I have like a really.
But
I have a
you're like
constant-
16,
I have
so
a constant ring in my right ear.
That is not healthy.
yeah, yeah. Okay, this is where it gets trickier because the number on the front's not prime. What could 4n squared turn into?
2.
Could be 2 and 2, or what else?
4 in.
Could be
One.
4 and 1. So you just gotta guess, which I don't even know the
Four.
answer yet.
4 in and in.
Okay. What goes into negative 25?
Negative 5.
Did you already do this problem?
Yeah.
You're working ahead.
I
Okay,
just-
I probably should have done the wrong way just to show that 2 and 2 didn't work. But, alright.
And prove Linux wrong.
Is it negative 5 and 5 or 5 and negative 5?
Negative 5.
Negative 5 or 5.
Okay.
Stop, let other people do work.
Actually, this one is wrong. Because if I do this one, it's
Wrong.
20 in minus 5
It's
in
positive.
is positive 15 in. So the
Oh,
pluses and minuses are backwards.
man.
So close, Linux, so close. Were you guessing on the 4 and 1?
Huh? Oh, no.
You already did the problem?
No.
Yeah, bro. In the
Oh,
gym,
yeah, I guess.
in the gym, you can stand like as far away as I am from Jaden, and with Easton, and you can just hear.
You're doing some ear damage, Easton. You're gonna regret that when you're an old man.
What'd you say?
Nah, cause then I'll be like Mr. Smith, get your hands where I can just turn them off when I don't want to listen.
I've made the mistake of
He listens to
sleeping
music.
with my LED lights on
Wait, I listen
all the
to
way up.
music? No.
Yeah, I definitely hear that.
That's good too, yeah.
Listens to music
Well,
with his
just
ears.
Helps
I heard that
you,
it-
makes it harder to
He
sleep.
literally tells me.
No, I've heard that it
remember
messes
when
up
he was
your
like,
hearing and stuff.
No,
I started turning them off. And my sleep has been so much better. Like I feel so much more like rested.
Yeah, I used to.
There's a lot of different things that like trigger your body to sleep, and one of them is darkness.
Yes.
Yeah.
LED lights will make you sleepwalk.
They don't make me sleepwalk.
I just already
never
understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why they threw. Am I on the wrong page? Yes, I am.
How do you not sure?
I sleep kick.
Are we actually on 13 now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like,
Okay,
you
I
done
remember.
like football and
On
like,
25.
I'm just like tweak out.
And then when you're about to go to sleep, and then you're just like,
You just twitch. Yes.
I've done
so
that.
scary.
Or I'll like just kick.
You know that's because your body thinks you're dying.
Yeah.
Okay. What might go in the front?
Many times has my body
Four in and in.
4 in and in, or it could be 2 in and 2 in, but
Where did I get beat squared?
2 in and in. I wrote down 13 on the other page accidentally. Okay. What's gonna go in the back? What goes into 4? 2 and 2. Okay, if I use 2 and 2,
Or no, it has to be
It's
negative.
wrong. I don't
Okay.
know it's wrong.
if I use 2 and 2, it'll be 8 in plus 2 in is 10 in. If I use negatives, it would be negative 10 in. So 2 and 2 does not work.
Negative 1 and 4.
Negative 1,
And negative
negative 4. To multiply to a positive 4, they both have to be positive or both negative. Negative times a negative. So now the outside is negative 16 in. Inside is minus 1 in, which does give me
Figure 17.
negative 17 in. So that is the right one.
One that you want it to be is
If you guess right, you can get on the first try.
Since yesterday.
Linux is 17.
I can guess.
Linux, Linux, banana, phantom, Linux, Lime, Linux.
Okay, what could go in the front on this one?
Oh, for sure.
3 and 2.
Could be 3 and 2. Okay, what could go in the back? The back's the same as the front, so what could go in the back?
3 and 2.
Okay, could be 3 and 2 or 6 and 1. Okay, if I do 6 and 1, this will be 3x plus 12x, which is not 37. If I do 1 and 6, this will be 18 plus 2.
No.
Okay, if I do 2 and 3, this will be 9 plus 4.
No.
If I do 3 and 2, this will be 6 plus 6.
No. Dang it.
So what do we have left to try?
No solution.
Nope.
Oh.
You do
1 and 6, 3 and 2 didn't work, so
Where did
6.
we already did it. 6 and 1 didn't work. Okay.
Oh,
It's
that's not right.
It's the
We
front.
got 6x.
No, that's what I meant. 6 and 1, not the.
you idiot.
That is not needed.
Okay, now what's going to go in the back? We need to get to 37, so what should I pair with this 6?
Probably the 6.
This 6, because that'll give us 36.
And a positive 1.
And a positive 1. So now 6 and 1 and 1 and 6 work.
It's too easy.
Yeah, 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 1x is
37.
37.
Bro, let's go.
Okay, one more.
23 minutes.
23.
Okay, I'm not gonna. So we have a 6 on the front again. Which one do you guys want to try first?
6 and 6 and in.
6 in and in.
Nope, it's gonna be 3 and 2.
I bet it's gonna. I'm putting 3 and 2.
Okay, well, Linux spoke first, so we'll go with that one. What goes in the back?
3 and 2.
Negative something and positive something. Okay,
3.
we'll say negative 3 and 2.
It's gonna be 1.
No.
Now the outside is 12, inside minus 3. That's 9, not 5. Okay, now do I need to try switching the plus and minus around?
No.
Because if that's all that I needed, it would have given me negative 5. So switching the plus and minus don't really matter.
6 and negative 1.
Okay, now the outside is negative 18 plus 2
No.
is not that. So 2 and 3 don't work.
6 and negative 1.
6 and negative 1. So now the outside is negative 6. Inside is plus 6.
That's 0. So
That's
no.
0.
I'm telling you, it's 3 and 2.
Okay,
No, it's.
now it's 36 minus 1. This is what we had last time. Or plus 1 actually. But 36 minus 1 is not 5. Okay, yeah. 2 and 3 and 1 and 6 both failed.
Gosh.
So what do I need to do?
Change it to 3 and 2.
Right. The front part was not right.
Ankles took it.
Mason.
Okay, now what do you guys want to try?
1 and 6.
I'm gonna pitch wrong.
1 and one of them's got to be negative.
Negative 6.
Okay, the outside is negative 18 plus 2. Nope. Well, 6 and 1. We're not doing very good guessing here. The outside is 3 minus 12 is negative 9.
Dang it, bro.
Okay, so what does that leave?
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
but
Let's go, yeah, 2 and 3.
One of them's gotta be negative, right?
My eyes are like.
To multiply with negative 6. So now the outside is negative 9
9 and 4, yes!
plus 4.
That's negative, you have to switch to something.
Okay, we did every wrong answer possible.
we'll like that, bro.
That's where I was actually
We literally went through every possible wrong answer before we got to the right one.
That's what I was aiming for.
That's what we want,
We should
right?
go to a casino.
This is really nice restroom.
You like pina
Yeah.
coladas?